So we're gonna mark out our plates with the chalk line. So we have the top and bottom plates up here for our exterior walls. So we're just gonna go ahead and mark all those. Then we'll mark the interior walls, and then we'll do our layout, and then we'll start framing. We just went through to start. We marked out all of our interior walls with chalk line, interior and exterior walls, and then we just went through our top plate and bottom plate material and marked out where studs and windows are going to be. And tomorrow we can get started on cutting headers and start doing some actual framing. Alright, we have our headers cut for every window. This was easy because we have 8 of the same windows, and then 3 of them are different sizes, but a lot better than the first floor. So we have all our studs ready to go. We're just laying them out. We got pre-cut studs this time, so that saved a lot of time of us cutting, so that's good. So we're gonna start with this wall, and we'll go from there. Nailing our first window together up here. So far, so good. And this time we remembered to actually mark our sills for where the cripples go. I made some little blocks so we can put the header on off the floor. I don't know what the best way to do this is, but we're finding the best way for us. Probably an easier one.
Or we just discovered the best way to do this.
Yeah.
Tripping all over myself.
We have all our windows made up, and it's getting kind of late, so we're gonna call it a day, but we'll nail everything off tomorrow, and then this wall will be good to go, and we'll start on the next wall. It's the next day, and Taylor is nailing off all the studs. We had to run out and get some lumber, see it in the back of the truck, in order to do our next wall and put on our top plates. Is it centered? Guess it doesn't matter. This is a nailer for our through wall, so it'll be, you can see this line on the floor. It'll run across the length. So this is basically it, just nailing and then we'll go back.
Lining up.
Nailing, lining up, lining up, and nailing. So this wall is all nailed up. We just need to put the double top plate on, which we have our sections here. We just got to cut them down. Alright, the double top plate is nailed on. So this wall is done. And now we're gonna push it over there because it's that side wall. We have all our studs laid out for the second long wall up here, and we're gonna nail everything off. Now that both the upstairs walls are built, we are going to sheathe the rim board from there up, and then we'll know where to set our sheathing on those walls. So we'll square them on the deck and then sheathe them. The sheets will kind of run in the middle of the wall. And then sheathing the rim board first kind of allows us to have a backstop for when we raise that wall. We got one piece of sheathing up, little 4-foot sheet, but of course when we decided to start sheathing, the wind picked up like there's no tomorrow. So we had done just this one sheet and a gust of wind almost took it down, and so going with an 8-foot sheet now would be a little more dangerous. So I think what we're going to do is try and get some sheets up to this floor, and then we'll put some strong backs on, and hopefully I can just slide each piece of sheathing between that and the rim board. We have this row nailed off. Now we'll measure where we need to put our blocking in our wall. Taylor's nailing off the blocking. I should have done a double fill here because the sheet breaks right underneath, so we have to add blocking to that. Oh well, live and learn. We've got all our sheathing laid out where it needs to be for this middle row, and then this should hold the wall square. We just need to nail it off, so getting ready to do that. I'm gonna start routing out the windows. We have a wall standing. I did not film any of this because I have never used a wall jack and did not know how it was going to go, and just didn't want to add to the anxiety. But it went pretty well. We just went slow. We put blocking along the way for the supports in case it slid back, and we had a sawhorse at both ends. The one thing was the way we measured to make sure our sheathing was going to be like not overlapping was we kind of got a little overzealous, so we have a little more than an 1/8 inch gap here, but I think that'll be fine. I think we can still nail onto the blocks that we have. But yeah, pretty good. Just a lot of anxiety while doing that. Good learning experience. We'll know for the next time a little better how it's gonna go. This wall will be interesting with the stairwell there, but we'll figure that out. So yep, needs to have one wall up finally. So we devised another method for getting sheets up in windy conditions, such as today. It was not windy when we woke up, but then it started being very windy. And it's supposed to continue to be windy, I think, through tomorrow, so that's not fun. like 27-mile-an-hour gusts. We got our strong backs up, and then we got our sheathing in. We have all the blocking in. Blocking takes a lot of time, at least for us, because we do every other block and then we have to go back and toenail the block next to it because you can't nail the ends. So. But it looked good.
We took our corner to corner measurement and made sure our wall is square. And now we're just measuring how high this the plywood sheathing that we nailed on the outside is. And then we're just transferring that measurement onto the studs so that these sheets will line up with those sheets. We did that on the other side. It worked pretty well. We actually were accounting for our poor math skills, and we're adding 1/8 of an inch, and now the gap's too big, so we're just putting the straight measurement down on the studs. This time the zip sheathing is going to help keep the wall square as we raise it.
This is our trick to make sure we don't have any shiners.
Also gets your measurements perfect.
And also, yeah, because not all the dots line up. The dots seem to just be an arbitrary thing. I don't know. They're just there kind of willy-nilly. Our sheathing is all nailed off. I taped the horizontal seams, so we won't have to do that from a ladder. I wish I had done it on this side, but you learn as you go. So right now what we're doing is putting this strapping from our lumber around the bottom plate, and that makes it so this won't slip when we start to jack, because that happened on the first wall. It wasn't very high up. We're also going to toenail the bottom plate in a few places. It seemed to work pretty well last time. I would think it would work just fine this time. And those are just tacked in with some 8-penny nails. None of them pulled out last time, and we were able to get all the straps out afterwards. So. There's our wall jack. We've got one block here. We're gonna raise it up a little bit, and then we'll put a second block under just so that 2x4 can't pop out. But we have to raise it up before we can do that. These are all on the floor. Put them in there. These are 16-footers. We could probably get away with a little bit shorter, but these seem to work well last time. And our pipes. All right, let's put the block. Oops. Just do one for good measure. We have a standing wall. We just need to nail this end brace, which is obviously over the stairwell, so it's not easy. But we have this brace on and this end brace, and then we'll just go ahead and do a few more. But that was pretty painless. Pretty windy, so made me kind of nervous. That's why I had this strap. It's around these two braces. But we have like 10 strong backs over there too. So and we've got 2 standing walls. Yay!